This is Sean, and you're listening to Tipple Theory. This week, we're going to be talking about the Gin and Tonic. Delicious.
Tipple Theory is the exploration of history and practice of creating alcohol around the world. On this show, we'll share some of the history of how your favorite beverages came to be, as well as techniques professional bartenders use to elevate your poison of choice into an experience worth savoring.
Hello, and welcome to Tipple Theory with your VSOP hosts. I'm Sean.
I'm September.
And this is Tipple Theory. So we're going to be talking about Gin and Tonic today, a classic two-part cocktail. But before we get into that, it's been a minute since we've recorded. September, what you been up to?
Still doing those cooking streams.
Hell yeah.
I started in October. I'm not doing them like super often, but a couple times a week usually, when I can manage it. And I feel like it's going decently. Giving away cookbook prizes, so come see me, and sharing my knowledge and my skill. Yeah.
How many cookbooks did you say you have, like, to give away? It's like
something like 150-ish.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, it's cool. I thought about when I'm having a bad pain day or something and I can't do all the streamy things, and I haven't gotten feedback. I want feedback from people if they'd be interested in me doing streams where I talk about these cookbooks. Pardon me, my head.
We're moving.
The cord got cut in my chair wheel, and it's yanking. All right, but I thought it might be cool to do a stream where I grab some of the more interesting cookbooks, or funny ones, because there's some weird funny ones, and do a stream where I do a show and tell with some of them. Might be good content that I can sit down and do.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Especially now, like when I think about cookbooks, a lot of the writers of those cookbooks just no one knows, or they aren't around anymore.
Yeah, and there's some crazy fun. Although there's one I really would love to talk about that I own and I'm not going to give away, that I found in a thrift shop some years ago. That is it's wild. It's got like recipes from all these political figures and movie stars, and it was like a benefit for some college's clarinet band or some fucking thing. I don't know. And
oh wow!
So there's like, Tom Selleck's pancakes or something, and then like. It's just weird stuff.
Some of them Tommy cakes.
I don't know. There's a bunch of. It's a crazy fun cookbook. So I check with that one, but then in the ones that were given to me, I don't know if I sent you the picture. I got one that's all about making melon and fruit sculptures and stuff. So there's like this photo in there of it's this creation, this abomination. It's a donkey head, and it's made out of all watermelon, and here's all the tools. And it's got patterns in this book for making these weird ass party themed. Some have flamingos, and it's a centerpiece, and an edible centerpiece and stuff. A donkey head. This is pre-Shrek. Why do you need a donkey head centerpiece for your party?
Because the donkey and the elephant. I can't remember which one's which, because I always thought it was a weird scheme anyway.
It's one of the weirdest things. I can't believe no one's picked it. But also, they're just looking at a spreadsheet. They don't realize when they see melon sculptures and stuff that the cookbook is going to be that entertaining. So.
That's pretty cool.
So weird.
Yeah, but hey, that's the fun of stuff. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. He's on TikTok and Instagram. He's like cooking from yesteryear or something like that, baking from yesteryear. Also, skinny, flamboyant, has kind of weird hair like mine, but
yeah. I know what you're talking about. I follow him on TikTok.
Yeah, and I love watching him because he just goes through old cookbooks and goes, all right, let's cook this
Wow, this sounds
Spam
terrible.
chocolate
What
cake
the
from
hell?
1930.
Yeah, he's fun.
And I think he nailed, like, one thing I like about that, and this is on topic, but also just like branding, like the way he says eggs. It is now stuck in my head. Eggies. Like, that is, I don't know if that's what he does or if he maybe thought it up for the show.
I'm a little worried about him now, right?
No.
He disappeared for a little while and came back, and he had a cookbook out, and maybe he was just doing all the merch and everything and all the touring, but he lost, like, he got really, really skinny.
He was already
Really
really
skinny. I'm like, are you okay?
Oh, buddy. I don't know how he's skinny just with the food that he makes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's like, I do hope he's okay. He seems like a very sweet person.
Yeah. So funny. So funny. So what have you been up to?
Oh, goodness. Well, I mentioned before we started recording, this is our Discord anniversary. So we've been 4 years on Discord. We've been friends for longer than that, but I think, right? Because that would have been,
that's about 4 years ago, I think, ANTP. Yeah.
No offense, it feels like longer.
Well, with the amount of time we spend bullshitting, I mean, I guess.
That's true. Yeah.
We know each other.
Oh, no, I talk to you more than I talk to my parents. I did talk to my dad today, though, so.
Okay.
I'm getting better.
That's good. I've been not talking to my mother for longer than I've known you. I don't know.
I like how my camera completely
just unfocused.
It's like, oh shit.
Ooh, deep. Yeah. Yeah, 4 years on our Discord. I found out recently, I mentioned in pre-show that my Twitch account is almost 16 years old. Almost as old as Twitch itself. And I don't remember how that happened, why I signed up. So I got to find a way to look up when my affiliate thing started. I haven't found out how to do that. Because that's another, now that I'm streaming more regularly, something that's me content instead of just one of my podcasts. Like, ooh, you're an affiliate. Congratulations. Like, oh my God, that was, I think, when they started the program. Like,
oh man. Yeah, so I was at GDC, the Game Developers Conference last week. And along the same lines, people were like, oh, like what's your handle on Instagram or TikTok or whatever? And like, oh, everywhere on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, and all these places, it's all male, like the gender NPC, usually an underscore unless they don't allow that, and then it's a hyphen. They're like, male NPC, like what did you have to do to get that? Like that is legit. Like I'm talking to gamers that are like 25. Like, well, see, when you were 10 years old,
exactly,
and this was coming out, I was in grad school, and I thought there's no way social media is going to take off. Why don't I just call myself the generic character in a game, a male NPC? And now that's what I am.
Yeah.
But
with my 9 of 12, like,
yeah,
I'm sure there are a lot of handles out there that are variations on different Borg ever since, because Trek fans are on the internet and everything. People are like, wow. And I'm like, but I got 9 of 12 everywhere. But then again, I started using it in about 1996 or probably 7, maybe, when a roommate called me that. And then I started using it on like AOL Instant Messenger and whatever, BBS I was still on. And so whenever I go to a new place, I grabbed it and I'm old. So one of my sons had, I was like, one of my sons, his middle name is Nightshade. And I was like, as soon as the internet got, more, I was like, maybe I should grab it for him. Because that's going to be cool. That's going to be popular. That's going to be like, all fantasy fan people are going to go grabbing it and stuff. And he, I think he didn't manage to get it in as many places as he might have liked later in his life. Yeah.
That's actually a good point. Because I made sure my daughter had an email address for herself. That was like pretty much her name. but I should maybe like grab a domain or anything if it's still around.
Yeah.
So at this point, domain will be like, that's like real estate passing on to your children. Oh yeah, my dad bought me a domain when I was 10 years old. Oh, but on the since we have a drinking podcast that we're on
Yes.
right now.
Drinking.
Yes. Yeah, so I was at GDC and hanging out with some of the younger game developers or soon to be game developers, and they all want to go out. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to this place called the Tempest Bar. Like, I've been to the Tempest Bar. My hotel is was less than a block away from it, and it's this kind of like rock and roll dive bar in San Francisco.
Oh, right on.
Like in this nicer area, which I
Sounds
appreciate.
up my alley.
The kind of place that has it has one pool table, and then like all the furniture is metal but covered in stickers. and I like it because they carry something called a citywide, which or what I would call a citywide. Which in Philly was anywhere in Philly you can go and be like, hey, can I get a citywide? And it was like $4 and you get a shot and a beer. Cheap shot, cheap beer, but great for going around town and getting a economically viable tipsiness on. So like we go in that bar, San Francisco, so the citywide is $9, or what they call like a Tempest special. Like, that's a citywide. It's a shot and a beer. It's a PBR and a shot of Jim Beam. And so I'm like, oh, I was excited. So I was getting there and I was like with a few friends, people I knew. I was explaining it to someone else. And then I was like, oh, well, you have one for $1 more and it's Fernet. Ooh.
Yeah.
And I looked down at the person that I was with and I was like, you want to do a shot of Fernet? And as soon as I see their face, the face was like, no, but they didn't say anything. And I could see the bartender going, I know that face. That's the face of a friend who just asked someone if they want Fernet. I was like, yeah, 2 of those, please.
So I've never had Fernet, so.
It is like, think of Jaeger, has a syrupiness to it.
Yeah.
Like a sweet syrup. Take like 75% of that away. Leave the herbalness and add a mint finish.
Okay.
And that's a Fernet. Like, it's not bad.
It's a challenge, but not a dare like Malort.
I would agree. Some people, I get like a pretty even split of I'd rather do one versus the other.
Okay.
And I think it's the mint part that really...
Some people just really hate mint and can't tolerate it.
Especially if they got like hit with rumple mints early on in their drinking careers.
Oh, good God.
Yes, I saw that face. That is the face of, oh, you mother...
I was in a bar where they did the whole launch, every, like, Rumplemints, like, buckets with test tubes of Rumplemints and little chocolate shot glasses to drink it out of and in, and that was a lot. They went hard with Goldschlager too at this one bar, and I was there a lot because they had like $1 Labatt's nights and
hell yeah,
a great dance floor. But oof, and the hangovers for anything that's sweet, the hangovers just not ever worth it.
Oh, it's rough. I think I've only really done one shot of Rumple Mints because someone warned me about it, and then someone bought one. And I was like, all right, this is my time to learn. I will learn, and then we'll not do this again. And, oh yeah, oh gosh, it was terrible. Not terrible, but like just it's so much like fuminess of 100 proof alcohol and the mint and the sugariness all at the same time. Like really.
The only thing it's good for is like if you wanted to do a milkshake with that flavor in it, right?
Yeah.
It's a good ad for that kind of thing.
That's fair.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Are you ready to move on to
the
Gin and Tonic? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm almost always ready for Gin and Tonic.
Right? It's going to be like story time after this.
My favorite.
So we've covered gin before in a previous season. So really,
sorry, I literally within reach have elderflower tonic and rainbow.
Oh, yeah. It's. I mean, it's funny because both tonic and gin are like bar staples. You have to have both if you're setting up a bar, and so they kind of naturally go together. Or it's just like we're always going to have these things if you're a bar that carries liquor, not just beer and wine. So gin comes from the Dutch, Genever, where it was, of course, first classified as medicine, as most of these things tend to be.
Yep.
And then became really popular with the English through trade and sailors and shipping. Tonic was invented as a curative mode of delivering quinine by a Scottish doctor named George Cleghorn. And I always mispronounce the name of the bark that quinine comes from. Cinchona.
Yeah.
Bark, and hopefully someone corrects me again. But that's where quinine comes from. It's extracted from that.
See, the tonic, legit medicine.
Yes, like literally, like when someone says a curative tonic, like this case, tonic is a tonic.
Yes.
It was documented as early as 1630 as a treatment for malaria. This quinine coming from this bark. But it's possible it was happening earlier, mostly because at that point in time, there's generally a pretty big lag between discovering and documentation. Not like today where like you discover it and you publish the next day. It can take quite a long time. So most likely it was happening earlier. British officers that were stationed in India were combining gin, sugar, lime, and tonic to make the tonic more palatable. 'Cause at this point, I don't think it was like we would have now, a fairly sweet tonic. And that was happening as about 1825. And then, in 1868, the Oriental Sporting Magazine mentioned making a gin and tonic specifically as a cocktail, something to enjoy together and not just prevent malaria. And that's kind of where we get up to gin and tonic, and right about the time that was mentioned before that you start getting industrial, commercially produced ice. Fancy that.
Fancy.
So all of a sudden our cocktails are coming together with the gin and tonic.
And what a wild thing to turn something like that truly is medicinal, right, into now it's a cocktail. Yeah. And I myself wonder often, I think people like, well, for one thing, it's backwards most cocktails, because alcohol has like it's rough. It can be hard to swallow at certain proofs, right? And it has that burn and everything. And cocktails are so often designed to ease that, right? Or just even like that's why you drink a rum and Coke, and that's why if you're not doing shots like any kind of fruity shit and some vodka, it's just a delivery mechanism for the buzz. Mm-hmm. But gin and tonic is completely backwards because it was the gin making the tonic more palatable. And so many people think, oh, I hate gin. I don't like gin. I tried gin, because it is the most common thing. And that's what you get. And people give you a gin and tonic. And I think like half the time, at least, they don't like tonic.
Oh, yeah.
That it's not the actual gin. Because when we talked about gin before, because it's got all these herbal elements, juniper forward in most of them, but there's a lot of different herbs and a lot of different kinds of gin these days. And then drier gin, like London dry gins, are so like that's a very juniper forward, but most aren't, like your cheap gin. And but the tonic is the bitter thing that is, unless you have a palate developed toward things that are bitter and you like them, the herbs and stuff in the gin don't make that palatable. They just make it worse. Even it can, people think they don't like gin. A lot of times they don't like tonic.
Yeah,
because like people probably why there's whole songs about gin and juice. Maybe somebody should have listened.
Laid back.
And try that, right? Like, try it in some lemonade. Try it in some ginger ale. It's great with ginger beer. And I think people just try gin and tonic first and don't realize tonic is that bitter taste. That's not what gin tastes like.
Yeah, and that bitterness also, like, it's like kind of bitter that hits like the back side of like the base of your tongue and kind of makes your jaw tingle.
Yeah,
that's kind of the way I would describe. Like it has that. It's a
strange and it stays. It's way back. You can't get rid of it immediately. But some lime, and it was funny. I had written and I took it out of the notes because it was like, oh, I didn't know they used to have it as rations, right, for British military. It's like,
Mhm.
Yes, I did. I think that came up in the gin episode. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And that was a like combo because the limes, like for sailors and stuff, there's always that like scurvy thing, right?
Mhm.
So gin and tonic and limes, and that's a great staple for your soldiers.
Yeah. That was like you know what? I'm going to throw it out there. That was maybe the first multivitamin.
There you go. And it's remained a classic. Despite being this backward, it's actually medicine. And we don't need a lot of anti-malarials these days anymore, regardless of what some people think. Yeah, we're doing a good job of getting rid of malaria, but people want to take anti-malarials for COVID. Well, let's just not. But anti-malarials, I will say, there are other things anti-malarials are good for, and are still used in medicine. But that can come up again later. But it hasn't changed a lot, and especially I think it becoming known as a cocktail when ice came around because it is. It's so bright. It's so refreshing. It's not sweet. It's not heavy, right? And so it hasn't undergone a lot of changes. In 2020, in the early 2000s, Spanish gin and tonics had a moment, and that is still a popular thing. It's really the only significant change I've seen or been found where instead of in a highball glass, which is what you'd normally use for this, putting it in a copas, like a stemmed glass with a big top.
Like a coupe or like a
Coupes are like
closer to like a
shallow,
like the big fat martini, not martini,
margarita
glasses, yeah,
but like taller, like a bulbous, more bulbous top, kind of like almost like an open mouth wine glass, like you'd use for white, but fatter and on a stem.
Okay.
Now, I think it's come up before. Like, I hate stemmed glasses. I just don't. They're so impractical and they're top heavy, and so am I, and that can be a whole messy problem. But they do serve a purpose to keep your beverage cold. You hold it by the stem, and you're not melting the ice. And so, if you're going to take a long time to drink it, and these Spanish gin and tonics tend to have like garnishes and fruits. People joke that they call them like a gin salad because they're purists about their gin and tonic. But kind of, gin, they're more careful at pairing your gins and your tonics because there are different kinds of tonics, flavored tonics, and they have very different characteristics as well as gins. Whole different sets of herbal components and stuff in different gins. And so these Spanish gin and tonics kind of take advantage of that more bespoke approach to a gin and tonic and add garnishes that complement the flavors in both of those. So that's really the only evolution your standard gin and tonic has had is the Spanish gin and tonics. Well, they tend to call them gin tonics. Like, so I want a gin and tonic, like a gin tonic in these places that are into that.
And
I'm on board there. Like, yeah.
I do.
Because I kind of do that at home. Like, I've got there was a pub making Big Mama D's gin and tonic years ago when I was going to this burlesque show, and Mama D ran the show, and they used elderflower liqueur, a little splash of that in a gin and tonic, and that was Mama's G&T, and I was like, I love this. I immediately went and got elderflower liqueur to have at home. These days, I skip that. I don't need the extra sugar anyway, and I get the Fever Tree elderflower tonic water. And I do taste my gins and have my preferences and get curious, and I look at the label to see what herbals are in it, and I will treat it differently depending on what herbals are in it.
And I think
I will make a shrub that has matching herbals or complementary fruits.
Yeah.
to use with a gin cocktail.
I think that's especially. I would argue that's like probably the biggest innovation since, or really starting in the 2000s, is when gin started to diverge a lot more. So like Tanqueray Rangpur came out, which is when they started like using a very specialized lime in Tanqueray. But then you started to get
And
gins
cucumber got real popular with it.
right? Cucumber. And you started getting more like interesting like regional gins that oh gosh, what's another one? There was had a little silver ring on the cork. That's from Schwarzwald, but it's a German gin that people really liked. Or like I have a whole strand of the rings from the gin, or like American gins, where you have Gray Whale, or you have more that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I tried End of Days is one. I think it's actually from North Carolina. I didn't care for it, but I'm always curious to try the new ones. Cardinal gin is great. And actually, I have a barrel rested Cardinal gin.
Oh, nice.
That I'm close to almost always having it in the house. It's a sipping over a big cube gin, which is just freaking lovely. But how would I put a twist or my own twist on it is very similar to this whole Spanish gin tonic thing. But if you want to try it home, try lemon instead of lime. Rosemary is a great herbal component to almost any gin. Just stir your gin and tonic with a sprig and see what you think. Throw a little slice of cucumber in it. Throw a couple berries in it. I mean, if you go much further, it's a different cocktail. But you can do small things to just zhuzh up your gin and tonic a little.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll throw on there because this was one that I've seen since I was vibed onto it. But a friend of mine, Mark, who's a trumpeter back in Atlanta, would just do like rough cracked pepper and just sprinkle some over the top.
Okay. Ooh, you got me there.
That is good.
Szechuan peppercorns would be amazing for that too.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, especially with
I gotta go get some more gin. I'm out of
component, and like you just get a little bit of that numbing. And you can buy Szechuan seeds and grow them, and you can eat the little yellow flowers that they are before they turn into the peppercorns, and you can eat those. Buzz buds is kind of like what they're known by online.
That reminds me, I need nasturtiums. It reminds me, I have to like text Rob right now. We need nasturtium seeds. I think we're out of it. I love planting nasturtiums. That's another because they taste like peppery.
Oh, nice.
And you can just I'm a dork. I pick the flowers, like I walk through my garden and pick them and just eat them. But they are a fantastic cocktail, fully edible cocktail garnish. Jeez Louise. Forgot how to talk.
That's right.
That would work with that really well too and be super pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything fresh on a cocktail or in food, but also in a cocktail it just adds an extra layer.
So I recorded and it's going to be coming out. I think around the 24th. I don't know when we got to start releasing these. There will be a show out. It's called The Studio Window, and Audie Norman and Jay are hosting it, and I was on recently, and I met Jay in Charleston when we did the Southeast meetup, and he was talking about he didn't get to drink the cocktail that he watched the video presentation for that cocktail we created and everything, but how he ate so many of like the candied hibiscus and stuff he was just eating. It's like his profound memory of that and watching you talk about the whole history of every component we put in there. So I forgot I wanted to share that with you. It was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. So I was going to bridge into the non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
Talking about how do we put the spin on it. And luckily, this is an easy one because I at least I enjoy a lot of the non-alcoholic gins that are coming out. And so get a good juniper-y non-alcoholic gin. Some of them are like, it's more, don't get anything that says smooth. You want this to have a nice
Smoothness means they put some sugar and freaking glycerin or something in it. Like, yeah.
You do need a little of the glycerin to help extract flavor components, but yeah, you don't want anything that's got a really high calorie marker on it. That's weird. You're gonna use extra. So instead of like 1.5 ounces that you might normally do in a tall glass, use like 2.5 ounces. Just so you know you're gonna get.
Honey, I'll call it. You'll be fine.
Right? Yeah, that's fine. Do half and half. No, because it's still pricey. Don't.
It is pricey. Yeah.
But and then use a flavored tonic, like September is holding up before, like an elderflower, or you can get Fever Tree makes a lot of like.
They make cucumber. They make blood orange, which I don't recommend. It wasn't great. I should have thought of that. I think I've got more flavors of tonic in my little mini fridge over here, like because I got a bunch on sale one time and. Most of them I didn't care for, but the cucumber is good, and surprisingly, you wouldn't think it would be good out of a bottle. And the elderflower is good enough that I keep it in the house. So.
Yeah, and then fresh lime, and that's really all you need. I've done it a couple dozen times. I'll have friends over and be like, "Hey, I know we don't feel like drinking tonight. Here's a non-alcoholic gin and tonic." I'm like, "Oh wow, this is pretty good." We'll have 2.
Yeah.
Just because it's fun to sip on, and it's not a soda, like it's definitely not that. It's a bit more special, and plus, if you're with friends or you're doing this for friends, you're making something for them, which is still part of the
it's the ritual. Process. Yeah, I mean, a lot of sharing cocktails isn't even in mocktails. Just as much fun to make and share with a crowd of people for sure. I thought about taking it a step further. Like I do because I'm a nerd and I like to cook, and I really, I thought, gosh, I could just make juniper simples, which gives me an added little. I could put in some rosemary, I could put in angelica, I could put in the things that are in the gins I know I like, and then I've been looking at, and I think I'm going to buy some tonic concentrate. They make tonic concentrates instead of buying, and a lot of people do this if they're avoiding sugar, they're avoiding a lot of other things, because you can get tonic concentrates and then control, just putting the strength of it and the bitterness, like put that tonic in for the flavor and then use soda water to kind of get it to the texture you want. And I'm very curious to try this because I like tonic. I have a palate. I appreciate bitter things. But it's not always easy to get one without a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sugar in your regular tonic waters usually. Yes. And I don't feel good after I drink. And I don't feel good after I have something real sugary. But if I'm drinking and it's sugary, the hangover is terrible. And this would be a good way to cut that and not have to worry about, are they going to have a diet tonic that I can have? Because I can't have aspartame. So I think I'm going to be experimenting with that and getting a nice non-alcoholic gin and tonic dialed in for the summer.
That sounds good. Yeah. I like that idea. So
fun facts.
In the end, fun facts. We learned along the way. Hold on, my tongue. Bleh. The amount of the amount of quinine in tonic now that it's not really a medicine, and I had to put in parentheses if any, because sometimes it's more like a kind of like vanilla extract where it's like it's got vanilla flavor. But the amount of quinine in tonic now, if there is any, would require a person to drink at least a liter of it to hit the minimum viable amount of quinine in their body to have any effect on like malaria.
No, I mean, I could do that. That's only 4 or 5 gin and tonics. Like
minimum viable. So not even like recommended daily dosage.
Yeah.
Should you have exposure to malaria?
But this is another reason for me to go ahead and get some extract, because I learned that it can be used to treat arthritis and lupus. I don't have lupus, but I have a myriad of autoimmune diseases that some of the same, like CoQ10 and stuff, has been recommended to me for these disorders. And rheumatoid arthritis itself is an autoimmune thing. So I learned, and I didn't know before, that quinine can be used to treat those. So I need more. Oh gosh.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It is medicine.
Yeah.
It's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I got one more fun fact. I know you have a couple.
I know. I was just trading back and forth. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Where did South America used to grow all kinds of, did I get the pronunciation up? Sunchona, which is the name of the plant that the bark.
Cinchona. Yes.
Sunchona. So South America used to grow this, but the UK and Holland were worried about their economies and their growing economies, and realized that South America might have a monopoly on this. So European countries, as they do, started smuggling seeds back, creating hybrids that would grow there, and then started separate plantations in their own colonies that they controlled.
No way.
Making their own monopolies, because that's how we play the game of Monopoly. Interesting that they actually used science and created versions of this plant that could grow in other places. Probably also ecologically unsound. But
Great.
fun.
So I can add. I can have a colonizer gin and tonic with my colonizer curries that I make now.
I mean, given like we were talking about, like, well, it's British. The British and India were mixing gin and lime and sugar to make the quinine more palatable. I mean, it is a colonizer backed cocktail. Unfortunately, that is the dead history of it.
Yeah.
Or living history of it.
Yeah. So I learned that the quinine is listed on the World Health Organization's list of essential medicines as an anti-malarial. Like, still, it's no longer the first line of treatment. That's been replaced by artemisinins because they have fewer side effects, because there are side effects. And those were discovered in 1972, and they're derived from, like, sweet wormwood, which is also annual mugwort. Like, it's another plant-based remedy that has supplanted the tonic, the cinchona, whatever tree bark, right? Tree bark. Yeah. Like,
I'm laughing.
It's another natural medicine, and this is now the top. No, treat with these first. It has fewer side effects. I love that kind of thing. Like, this is legit, and it is funny because every time we talk about alcohol, it was like, because they were using it for medicine, and this time it's like the other component again, and it's persisted, and it's only been supplanted by another remedy found in nature. Fascinating.
So, kids, that means if you really want to prevent malaria in your area, you should have a Malort and tonic.
Right.
Which, here's a lot of lime juice. But
doesn't he get the wormwood and
the quinine.
And
that is real medicine.
My brain. I've got a flask of it here somewhere. What's the other wormwood? Absinthe.
Oh, yeah, absinthe. Should have wormwood in it, yeah.
Absinthe and tonic.
Oh, we're like concocting the worst Long Island ever.
Yeah.
What kind of Amaros could we put in here?
Like, we gotta get Bill Gates, Bill and Melinda on this. Like, their anti-malaria money to make this palatable.
Oh, man. Well, yeah.
Okay.
But as you said, a lot of these just come from medicine because alcohol is a fantastic solvent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that didn't even come into this. They were just throwing the gin in to make it palatable. Yeah. It wasn't extracting more of the medicine, but that is often how it happens with alcohol, booze being in your medicine. So anyway, this was great. This was fun. Who knew there was so much about gin and tonic, even after already talking about gin in a previous episode, which you can find on the internet, folks. In the meantime, please chime in by emailing us at tippletheory@gmail.com if you like. We'd love to hear from you. I'm sure y'all have gin and tonic stories. We didn't even get into those.
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget, like, follow, review us on the listening platform of your choice. Our next episode, we're going to be talking about the White Russian. No, not that one.
Please check out patreon.com/Tipple Theory today, where you can become a supporter and get access to video of our cocktail of the week being made and other behind-the-scenes goodies. Thank you to Scott Gesser for writing our theme music that you're listening to right now. You can find him and links to his music at scottgesser.weebly.com.
Nice.